Hi, I'm Joey, and I am a junior from Kentwood High School. In my introduction, I'll be mostly talking about my class identity. I chose this because I felt like it was a really big part of me growing up in my childhood. You know, I felt like it was a main factor in how I act, how I think, how I view others, my bias, and and it also connects with a lot of my other identities too. Um, Growing up, I knew I was poor. I was, not poor, poor, but definitely poor. My dad was working two shifts, day shift, night shift. I barely got to see him. My mom was always working overtime. My brothers, who were around 15, 16 at the time, had jobs too. They were mostly putting their jobs first over their educational career, and you know, I felt like that was obvious. There was a lot of other obvious factors too. Like we lived in a two-bedroom apartment. Five of us in two bedrooms, and I don't want to be mean, but we had definitely lived in the ghetto parts of Kent. Gunshots every night, police sirens, that kind of thing. But, it wasn't, I want to say, I didn't feel poor. I definitely did not care about it. I wasn't, ashamed about it. I didn't, you know, it wasn't bad, but I think a lot of moments and experiences that I've gotten from being poor has definitely changed how my mind works. When we had to stretch leftovers for about 2 weeks, or that $1 candy bar was my candy for the whole month. Um, and one thing that I really like about it, like how it changed me, was how it changed others too. I really like seeing how me and my friends who come from either very similar or very different backgrounds approach on subjects, how differently we see it, how differently we view solutions or problems. And one moment I'd like to talk is when we read a short poem back in freshman with my friends for English class. And the short summary of it is that a poor boy and his mom, the mom gives the boys money, and when the boy goes out to uh, buy groceries or whatever, he gets beaten up and mugged by these, few other older kids. And this happens quite a few times until the mom is eventually fed up with it, and she slaps the boy and be like, if you don't get the groceries and keep losing our money, I will kick you out of this house. And so the boy grabs a plank or something, beats off the bullies, and finally buys the groceries. But what mostly stuck out was how me and my friends reacted to it. How we reacted to the slap and the, the sudden change in behavior from the mom. Um, what was really interesting to me was that my better well-off friends, or my friends who grew up wealthy, saw the mom as a really mean, B word, or, a really mean person in general, and be like, how could a mother do that to her child? And that really struck something into me, because it's like, I grew up with that. I grew up with, if you can't deal with it, then you're done. Like, if you keep losing money, then, you're you have to deal with it. And it's really funny because, like, my friends who also grew up poor, or are currently are poor, also agreed with me on that, mindset too. It's because it's like, when you're poor, when you're financially struggling, you can't really mosey your way around that. You can't just ask for another rerun, because you can't do that in the real world. um, and that also, you know, got me thinking a bit. This is a sociology class about deviance and crime, I'm pretty sure. And, in a lot of news and a lot of articles, whatever, besides race, one thing they also managed to factor in is, well, what class they were. Were they lower class? Were they poor? Were they struggling? And, as a formerly poor person myself, that really, not really changed me. Not really changed, but affected me. How, you know, the bias is there. I have a bias too. And it's not just from. No, it is just from media, from social media too. A lot of media happens, and so I guess that's just what it means to be a class. It. I felt like even if some people don't feel it, it is a major role in a lot of people's lives, identities. And yeah, that's it. Thank you.